That would be a leader in the church to give them food at the proper time. That's what the genuine pastor is supposed to do. That slave, that minister whose master, Jesus, finds him working at all of that, when he comes, will get a reward, of course. I assure you, he, Jesus, will put this faithful pastor, leader, in charge of the whole of the kingdom under Jesus' supervision. So if you are a Christian, you are slated for royal office. You're going to be an assistant judge, administrator in the future kingdom. That's the whole point. But right now, your job is to be feeding the flock with truth and preparing them for that great reward, which will come at the return of the Messiah, the one visible parousia at the end of the age. They at the door, who don't consider themselves normally to be the 144,000, they say of themselves, we are not Christians, we don't have the Spirit, we're not anointed. Then you're not Christians. You're coming to the door, my good friends, in the Watchtower, claiming to teach the Christian faith while claiming not to be Christians at all. That needs some very careful revision.
We have a lot of JW elders even who have told us the intricacies of the organization's teaching, which it is very intricate. I mean, they have developed this stuff. They study hard.
They do.
But they have a zeal, I believe, without knowledge, as Paul says. So let me give you this passage in Romans 8, because we're all supposed to have the Spirit of God. Of course. See, the organization teaches only the so-called 144, the elect, the saints. They're the real saints, the elect. Everyone else is second class. So, but look at what Paul says here. The mindset of the flesh is hostile to God.
Yes.
Because it does not submit itself to God's law, or it's unable to do so. Those who are in the flesh cannot please God.
Yep.
You, however, not just you, the 12 apostles,
you Christians,
are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit. Since, or if, provided that the Spirit of God lives in you. So think about that if you're a JW watching this video. If anyone does not have the Spirit of Christ, you're not a Christian. You must believe that Christ lives in you in a spiritual form, obviously, through the Spirit of God.
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe what Jesus says and believe the organization that says you are not Spirit-filled, you are not an elect, you are not a saint, as the New Testament defines it, you have to choose. Are you going to follow Paul, who's the messenger, the spokesperson for Christ, the Messiah? And look at verse 11, Anthony. If the Spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you, then you have the hope of resurrection, which is the whole point, Anthony, is it not, about the faith?
Of course, the whole point. So with great respect to our fellow JWs, or not fellow JWs, that's the wrong word, our friends, the JWs, they are sadly and very tragically mistaken. They claim to be part of the 144,000, that's to say the special ones too. You can't be part of the 144,000, because in Revelation 7:14 it says that the 144,000 are those people who came out of the future great tribulation. You cannot have come out today of a future event. That's just impossible. So this whole thing needs to be rethought. Stop going door to door. If you're not claiming to be a Christian, if you're not claiming to have the Spirit of Christ, which by definition means you're not a believer, period. That's the end of the story.